Glad you're back for week 3 of the Avera Orthopedics Game Ball. This is where we take a little time each week to give a special shout out to one outstanding performer on the field and 10 other top performers across this great state of South Dakota. Let's get into those top performers who balled out, starting with Bridger Amiot of Wall. He took it to the Comets last week, ran wild for 5 touchdowns as he piled up 264 yards. His coach, Lex Heathershaw, told me it's nice to have one guy who can carry the load this year, and Bridger is definitely fitting that bill. Hayden Ellis of Centerville crossed the end zone 6 times. Yes, 6 times against Avon on Friday. He led the Tornadoes with 240 yards rushing. Way to go, Hayden. How about Brett Fossum of Watertown? He was one of the arrows to rush over 100 yards. Cale Stevenson was the other, but Fossum broke out for 2 rushing touchdowns and nearly 200 yards on the field, and they brought home their first win of the season on homecoming night. Congrats to Brett. Carter Hoffman of Dual is starting to become a regular this year on this segment. He ran for the Hills, Dakota Hills that is, with his 3rd consecutive 100-yard rushing game. He also caught 2 passes and turned them both into upfield touchdowns. Tate Johnson of Brandon Valley has been on fire the last 2 weeks. He willed the Lynx to a win over Aberdeen Central with 235 yards and 3 touchdowns. Tate should be tired. He's toted the ball almost 60 times in the last 2 weeks. Maybe the key to not getting tired is not getting tackled. All right, Leo K. of Lincoln is more than just okay. He powered Lincoln's running game for 189 yards in the score. And his running mate Isaiah Robinson also had a big day with over 100 total yards and 2 scores. Congrats to the Packs, backs, big numbers, and those guys up front did their job as well. Ryder Kirsch played just a single quarter, but went 7 for 8 for 144 yards and 5 touchdowns on Friday. He hit 4 different receivers for those touchdowns. Way to spread out the wealth, Ryder Kirsch. Michael Prado of Lower Brule is one of the best kept secrets in 9-man football. He absolutely did it all on Friday. Ran for 167 yards and 2 touchdowns, caught 3 passes for 2 touchdowns, forced 2 fumbles, recovered 1 more fumble, and also made a pick 6 and scored on that one on the defensive side. 5 total touchdowns on the day. Big day to help his team beat Flandreau Indian School. Gavin Spurrell did it all over the field as well. He caught 3 passes, took them all to the house, took a punt return back 61 yards for another touchdown, and Spurrell of Irene-Waknoda led his team to a 40-20 win over Cologne. And Nick Whitler, this guy, what do you want to say about this guy? He did it once again, 144 yards on the ground with 4 touchdowns and another 200-yard throwing day in the air, added 2 more touchdowns there. And then for good measure, he got a pick 6 on defense. I've lost track of how many touchdowns this guy's been involved in, but it's well over 20 for Nick Whitler. That brings us to the Game Ball winner. Did you notice something strange about this list this week? No Garrett Stout of Pierre. That's because we saved the best for last. Garrett has been tremendous all season, but he really outdid himself this week. He had a hand in 8 touchdowns as he led his Governors to a 63-0 win over the number 3 ranked Yankton Bucks last Friday. Garrett was equally strong on the ground and through the air. He passed for 224 yards and 4 touchdowns, and then he broke off several big runs as he totaled 244 yards on the ground and added 4 more touchdowns. Garrett got a game ball last year and gets another one for his shelf this year. What a start for the senior.